Ready to? How you doing?
See what up, baby? What up, dog? How you doing?
What up,
Yo,
Jig?
Chan, what up? What up, man? Same
Boy, look at you. What you wearing, huh? You
No, I
look
got
good.
that shit on.
I ain't seen those.
Oh, these Balenci's.
Oh, like the new big everything. What they
kinda
said
like
platform.
Yeah, they kind of light though.
So listen, they made fun of my infrareds. Them ain't hard.
AB, tell them the
Them
truth.
straight, but them shit look like you playing basketball today or something.
But bro, you got them goddamn Super Mario Brothers on. I can't wear my infrareds.
What color them is? Black, white, or blue, or red?
They just fire.
Okay,
Man,
I got it. As long as you like it.
they need to be set on fire.
Hold up, limitless. Niggas to me, can't pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On the mission, get me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On the vision, I can trust. Limitless. Niggas to me, can't pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up. On the mission, get me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On the vision, I can trust. Limitless. Niggas to me, can't pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Get my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, get me up.
Well, AB, man, welcome for part 2.
Part 2, baby.
AB and the pivot, a part of Fanatics, Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder, I'm Ryan Clark. This man needs no introduction, but to start the show though, I do want to ask you, man, how are you doing?
I feel good, man. Life is great. I'm healthy. The kids good. We in Miami. I feel like a movie theater.
So when you say you feel like a movie theater, what does that mean? Because you were, in my opinion, the best wide receiver of your generation. For 6 years, you had a run that put you on top of the football world in a place that never had a receiver like you. Now that that's all over, what have you learned to do that you can excel in the same way?
Well, I just learned to work on myself. You know, being a football player, you never know how much trauma you really go through with just trying to be great. You know, when the football game's over, you know, you really got nothing that's gonna challenge you or bring that greatness out of you like it once was. So for me, it's just about like, you know what I'm saying, understanding the position I'm in, because we all football players, you know, when it comes to an end, you know, we still think we could do it and want to do it and want to be, but it's just, you know, living life from another perspective of, you know, being a good role model for my sons, my kids, you know what I'm saying? My son, AB Jr., 16, like 6'2", 6'3", he playing basketball. Florida just passed the NIL. So you just, you know, as being a player, I feel like when you're in your 20s, you just think, you know, playing football, making money, living out your dreams is everything. But that's just a small part of life in the world of what's our role and what we got to do as spiritual beings and as humans. And the game always go on. There's a lot of great guys now. Yeah. And I'm just glad I had my stench in the game and being able to set a good trajectory and motivate players in regards to coming from the bottom and persevering and overcoming adversity to be great.
I love that, man. That was awesome.
Bro, what do you do? Like you talking about that football mind, because I see a lot of dudes that retire, and we know dudes, you know, ex-teammates, you know your boys, and they put so much in since you was 6, 7 years old to ball.
Yeah.
And then now ball is gone, and you have to transition. Like, what do you do on a daily basis? Because we see the social media stuff. We see, you know what I'm saying, what everybody want to amp up. But like, when you wake up on Wednesday mornings, like what are you doing every day?
Well, first you got to exercise, you know, health is wealth. Exercise, you know, first thing I do and get up, I swim like 40 laps a day. You know, and I'm there for the kids. It's summertime now, the kids ain't got school. Obviously, I'm entertaining and funny online. That's what online for, you know, to motivate, get people alive, get people outside of their comfort zone of just, you know, seeing different perspectives. But I got kids, man, I got a regimen. I mean, I make music. I got to deal with videos, so I'm going to be dropping some music. So, I mean, I just do like a normal person. I got a schedule to take care of myself. I got a checklist to get stuff done. You know, writing stuff down is always important where you can see it, you can know what you're doing, you have a vision. And just being a good example, being there, you know, more so being present. You know, I think as a football player, you always on the road and traveling, playing, or working hard, training. For the most part now, I could go train with my son. I could watch him get better and be a part of the processes of his development. You know, take care of the normal things of business in life.
AB, you said the game will go on. And I know for most of us, we wanted the game to go on with the memory of the 4 straight All-Pros,
Yeah.
the league leading receiver in receptions, and also Super Bowl champ, right?
And I led in touchdowns too.
And touchdowns. So,
Oh, he wasn't gonna let you forget that.
oh, for sure. And he
the
should.
most celebrations. You know,
So
I
basically,
had a lot of fun.
the Hall of Fame career.
Yeah,
You know, and that's the AB
Yeah.
we and fans that love you are all set on.
Yeah.
You know, and then you say you have fun online.
Yeah.
You got a CTESPN and all of that.
Yeah.
A lot of the conversations when people see the antics or they see you saying, you know, things about a Giselle or a Tom or whatever, they say, oh, this guy got CTE. Like, how does that really affect you? Because you were here saying, I'm just playing online. But how, like,
I'm
RC asks, how are you? You know I love you, bro.
Yeah, I got love for you, Freddie T. All the way. But yo, online I get paid online. I run ads, I'm running a business online. To be able to be, you know, these kids these days, they don't watch TV, Fred, they watch their phone. Right. So to be able to attract to the masses or the kids, you gotta have some sort of entertaining value or wise, you know what I'm saying? Just like you saw the Kevin Hart thing, like in life now I feel people too serious.
Right.
They can't take a joke, but not only is we entertaining, as you would say, playing, but it's some seriousness to the entertaining. You know what I mean? People who have trauma every day. It's just not about you playing football. You know, people in their normal lives have trauma. If your husband left you for this amount of years, if you wasn't raised with your mom or dad. So, of course, we entertaining and being funny, but it's a lot of seriousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, far as, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you was a player, you had trauma. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I started CTESPN, because the media don't have a code of ethics in regards to what they have to report. You know, anybody can report anything you want. That don't mean it's valid. You know, it's no code of ethics to say what you could put out. So imagine as a player, you're trying to be great and you got a trauma of news trauma, the scrutiny, criticism, the pressures of playing. After your career, when, you know, the people you thought was there ain't there no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of things you did for therapy? What kind of things you been through? Like, you been through people didn't want you, you being cut. I mean, we all here being cut from a team that experienced that. What is that trauma like? I mean, Ryan Clark made his way from freaking a free agent. You know what I'm saying? What was that trauma like? I'm sure it had to make him more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? More belief in himself. You know what I mean? So CTESPN is not a game. You know, we as football players and we as human beings do have real trauma that we're not talking about. You know, even being a football player is trauma. You know, coming from, I'm sure all you guys came from a situation where it wasn't the best. So you had to have a certain mentality. Like, I know RC, I played with him. RC was telling dudes, like, I'm gonna crack your face. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna break your back. Like, but that was a part of being a player and what made you who he was, the aggressive stiffness that made him the player. But as we know, that could be our gift and a curse, because can't take that same attitude to life. So it's like, how was he able to transition?
What is the next step of CTESPN? Because what you just explained is real life. The things we've all been through, the trauma, and not only what we did physically in the sport, but a lot of the traumas you lived through. So for you, what would be your next step to, now you have our eyeballs because of the entertainment,
Yes.
What's going to be the influence?
Well, we want to be able to cover more stories, talk to legendary guys like yourself, you guys, and see how you made it through your traumas. How did you persevere from being a free agent? Fred, how would you persevere from being great and they bring another running back and try to minimize your role? Like, how do you handle that, knowing you were special? Like, Chenny, how you handle being a linebacker, they cut you? Like, how, talking to real people with real time about their traumas and how did they seek therapy? Developing stories, developing programs where we can help, you know, be there for kids in college or high school kids getting paid who are going to experience these traumas, who may not know how to deal with them, how to overcome with it. You know what I mean?
Honestly, with your social media input, like, I see the positive, but also like the racial stuff you do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The chink of the day, the graham cracker, how many crackers?
Yeah.
Oh, the graham cracker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff, I think it kind of it diminishes that point you just made. Like, why do you go that route on social?
CTESPN doesn't have nothing to do with AB. You know, AB is an entertainer. I'm a music artist. That's part of my job, is entertaining, being funny, you know, bringing energy. And CTESPN is something totally different. And I feel like people know that it's a joke, it's for entertainment. That's why Elon Musk made the X app, where you can express yourself and have a sense of humor. You know what I mean? ESPN cover people negative all day. You know what I mean? I say something, you know what I'm saying, that's on the borderline. Let's take, for example, Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee just called Caitlin Clark, somebody who I like to bring a lot of attention to, one of the best athletes in basketball that's changing the game. You know what I mean?
Pat McAfee, yeah.
Pat
He called
McAfee.
her
He
white
called her a
B-word.
white bitch,
Yeah.
right? AB said it's Harry. Everybody saying like, yo, what is Buddy talking about? He called her a white bitch. So, you know, it's always a scrutiny in the media for what I could do or what somebody else doing. And it's not to make comparables. It's just saying, like, if a guy could call a woman who's a great athlete a white bitch, and AB just could say she's hairy as a joke, you know, that's the attention of the media. You know, the media tend to, you know, despise the truth and scrutinize, you know, different people for different reasons. You know what I mean? I'm just not a football player that had a lot of stats, and, you know, that just was a part of my life. You know, it's more to my life. You know, I got a rap career. When I walk out the field, you know, I got to deal with video distribution. You know, I got managers, people that rep me. So it's not like a game where I'm trying to be radical or sabbatical or demise anyone else's role. I understand media and scrutiny and criticism and what it takes. I'm just bringing entertainment to, you know what I mean?
And, you know, I think, so we had Kwame Brown on, who everybody thought had absolutely lost his mind the way he would go at certain people, Matt Barnes, Stack, and all those guys. And he sat down and he said, I felt like I had to do that so people paid attention to me. And he's like, now I can get the true points across that I'm trying to get across. And he sat with us and I was like, man, you should be this all the time. Through the first 15 minutes of sitting down with you today, it feels so much different than the first time. And I've always told people this, I believe you're intelligent. And so when you do say what you did about Caitlin Clark, and that, like, you also have to realize you're a black man saying this about a woman, period. And when you say that, they're going to look at it as that's crass or that's insensitive or that's disrespectful, especially because they're going to look at your past. So how does that make you feel, though, when people do come at you for those things?
I mean, people going to come at you for whatever you do. Jesus walked the earth and was perfect. He got hated. I'm not here to entertain and answer questions of what people think I should be doing or what's their convey for my life. You know, I'm not a football player where people make your schedule, people tell you when to train. I'm a grown man, you know what I'm saying? I have the freedom. Elon Musk made the app for the freedom of expression, and that's what happened with America. You know, black guys, any type of guys, they diminish their role or minimize their role of being who they are. You know, I know who I'm is, so no matter what anyone say or feel, it's not going to diminish my role for who I am. You know, that's just their opinion. It's not a fact. I feel like Caitlin Clark is an athlete. Athletes should be used to criticism. That's their lives, right? You are athletes. How many things have been said about you? I love you, Ryan, but we had social media wars.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no code or ethics of, like, it's just the trauma of what goes into being a normal human. Imagine watching, you in the media now.
Yeah.
How do you feel you have to speak about guys who know you and watching you? Do you think it's like,
You have to be more careful today in how you address guys. There's a different sensitivity to what people in the media say.
but you feel that as a media guy, you have to target some guys to be bigger in a position?
No, I don't think that. I think what you got to do is gain their respect. It's like anything else.
Okay.
If it's on your team, if a dude respects you, then now you have a cachet and the ability to say or do certain things. I think it's the same thing in this, but you, bro, like based on just your career, AB, you should be in a spot to where people should be begging you to talk, not about the CTESPN or any of those things, just because of what you did. Do you ever look at the way it ended and think to yourself, I would have changed some things?
Nah, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, I walked off, I did the right things for myself. Anytime you're playing along a team and you know what it's like, you guys been to the end of your career when it's like, the team got you there, but they're not really there. And every good thing gonna come to an end. And I don't have no regrets of how it ended. You know, I just glad I walked off with my health. The whole thing of being a football player is to not limp off the field when you're done. To be able to walk off with full strength. And that's always been my goal. Get the most out the game. You know, I put a lot of energy, effort, time in the game, and I don't feel like I took any shortcuts. I had a goal, a vision, and I did it. You see me come to work as a 6th-round player, fight for my spot. They put so many guys in front of me of the trauma of just always believing in myself and knowing it's going to work out. So to me, it's all about, and that's why I started CTESPN, because it's no platform that's showing people, how do I overcome this adversity? How do I deal with if they're not trying to get me the ball and I'm trying to be great and my job is to want the ball? How do you deal with they not dropping you in zone coverage when you know they running these plays and you gotta, how do you handle that? No one's addressing the seriousness of being a football player and the traumas we face, you know what I'm saying? Being a player, you can't get disability insurance because the NFL won't allow black guys to get insurance if you not showing them that you just train wreck. You know what I'm saying? How do you handle being able to transition? Like, how do you transition? Like, how you guys get to this point? What adversity you face on your other show that, you know what I mean? Let's address what the real experience of what people go through, not what happened in moments, because different moments of people's lives could deteriorate how they look at their lives. And that's the purpose of CTESPN, not letting moments affect your overview of your life. And as a football player, we look at people for moments. Oh, this moment AB walked out the field. This moment he scored. And this moment, you know, life is going to be compelled of a lot of moments. But what's the purpose of these moments? The purpose of those moments was a kid from Liberty City that's made opportunity of greatness to go chase the opportunity of being great and being able to deal with the adversity. You know what I mean? They drafted Emmanuel Sanders, the players before me. Right. And when I was a rookie, I mean, the guy got hurt. I took the kick return back first play. Then the next time, they suspend me for coming late. Remember, RC? Now I'm like, yo, now I'm suspended. They don't let me play 6 games. So how you handle that adversity? How do you tell your story? You know?
But what's the moment of you running off the goddamn field with your shirt off, acting crazy? I
am crazy.
But what? No, I'm going to ask you that question too. But you talking about moments, listen, the moments of you running off with your shirt half naked running off the field, bro. Like, that's not football.
I know, but that's me. That's like my moment in football. We all got our own relationship with the game. I can't change your relationship to the game, how your end. You know, everybody want a happy ending. I would like a happy ending right now. But nobody's gonna give me a
You better not look over here, motherfucker.
I know you a honey dog. You little honey dog.
He look right at you, too.
Don't look over here.
I know
don't give a damn how goddamn many diamonds you got on your finger.
Nah, but we all want a happy end to our career, and that's how athletes, what we got to come to realization. Sometimes we're not even in control of how our careers end.
But you were in control of that, though, AB. You were in control of how that day ended.
No matter if no one else understands it, I did what was best for me. You know what I mean? That's the simple fact of what it is. If you have a trauma, that's what my therapist tell me. If I have a trauma or trigger, I'm gonna walk away. I didn't do nothing wrong. I took off my equipment and took off my shirt, waved to the fans of the people that love me and walked away. That's what my therapist advised me to do when I'm, you know what I mean? I get therapy. CTESPN is real. We gotta be able to talk to somebody unattached that help us with our spirit. So when I'm dealing with a lot of traumas that you guys might not understand, you know, everybody in the world, they just see the stuff that happened, the big viral moment. You know what I mean? They just focus right here, but it's a lot of things that lead up to people's traumas that make them be in that position. And Ryan Clark know my relationship with Bruce Arians. How many years you know Bruce Arians to hold me back?
It was a while.
Ben Roethlisberger, the only reason I even starting for the Steelers. Literally, he had to go tell Bruce Arians, like, yo, I need AB at the X. Like, let me have him run these plays. So you guys don't understand, like, you know what I'm saying, when something happened, what was the build-up moment? What was the build-up moment? What was it like when Ryan Clark was hurt and doctors coming to see him and half his arm don't work, but nobody know? What was the trauma, RC? Yeah. Not that, like, bro, you know what I'm saying, people want to focus on, when it happened. No, what happened in the midst of that to cause that? And you know what I mean? We gotta not take stuff so serious.
I think the build-up moment is, you know, the greatness that we all saw. You know what I'm saying, AB? Like, for example, you had a childhood hero.
Yeah.
And what happens if that hero lets you down, or you find out that he's not perfect? You'll be sad.
Deion Sanders is, listen, we all football players and the fans look at us like we're guards.
Yeah.
You don't supposed to get hurt. AB supposed to be running for 20,000 yards. He was right on the brink of Jerry Rice. But that's just people thinking that we just some godly beings. Like, yo, we humans. If I had unlimited health, of course I'd run up down the field and be the great. You know what I mean? But that's not how it is. We're humans. You know what I mean? We are made of lots of moments. Even from you as a kid, you've been through stuff when you was a kid that you carry.
AB, because I'm always keep it 1,000 with you.
Yeah.
Because of how great you were, in a lot of sense, you let a lot of people down. And it's not it's not on you.
No, I'm gonna say like I would
because
ask
of
you like how to.
expectations.
Yeah,
And
but
I probably
let them
had
down.
at some point, right? But it goes from that to disbelief to concern. And I think that's where we are now. Like, you have a lot of people that love you and they're concerned about you and they want to see you excel.
I don't think they're
in life.
concerned. I am excelling. I just feel like people don't understand. It's always when people don't understand, you crazy. Or you're not from where I'm from, so you don't get the understanding. Yo, I'm from Liberty City, bro. My mom, I caught a jitney to go play football or go to school when I was 6 years old.
grind, yeah.
So I raised myself. You know what I mean? I willed myself in this position. We play football to change our lives. You know what I mean? To keep our health. We don't play football to just keep entertaining people, to walk off the field and they're like, oh, how did I let somebody down? I did what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? I had a great career. You know what I mean? I feel like, of course, things may not go the way other people want, or the people may not think that I may have not done things the way they would have done it, but that's why they're not me. It's okay to not understand AB. It's okay to
That's
not,
a fact.
you know what I mean? It's okay to not understand why I make those moves. But sometimes it takes time for people to understand. I don't want you guys to, if you don't understand now, then keep, you know what I mean? Keep tuned. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of people didn't understand 6th-round pick. I mean, a lot of people thought I was crazy. RC, 6th-round pick, this guy always run to the end zone, right, RC?
Yeah.
Like, bro, why he keep finishing
the first
to
practice?
Right? Why he keep running to the end zone? But that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy that people may not understand till they understand. Like, nah, bro, really.
And that's fair.
You know what I mean? And that's cool.
You
know what I mean?
You know, you made some jokes earlier, and there have been rumors that you don't have the amount of money you should. Are you broke now? Are you
I'm
struggling
fucked up.
financially?
I mean, I'm fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that, you know, I just can't comply with debt. You know, it's all about protecting yourself. But yeah, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not broke, but I'm fractured.
No.
What happened?
Because there's bankruptcy that people reallocate the money. I work for a bunch of businesses
You
that have been
understand
bankrupt and you
You
reallocate
understand?
your money.
I'm just reallocating the debt to take care of the debtors. That's all I'm doing.
Right.
But then there's
Yeah.
you done got banked, and I always say it on the show. I don't count motherfuckers' pockets, but
Yeah.
you made a lot of money.
I'm all right, man.
But what happened? Like, do you look back and be like, how in the do I have to reallocate my money if you're not broke?
Nah, it's just about, you know, things get overhead. You know, anybody can sue you, take you for whatever you got. You know, at this point, I don't work. I don't make millions of dollars where it's coming in where I could just force someone that money. So, you know, Chapter 11 is about restructuring the money you're making so you can take care of the debtors.
But you still got that goddamn ring on your finger and that
I'm all right.
Balenciaga and them big ass boots.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah, but AB, like
He's all right.
AB, what's the feeling or how much fear in it? Like, I know for me,
Yeah.
it was once I was able to make a certain amount of money, once I was able to be successful, I never wanted to go back to having to fight and scrape and struggle, right? I wanted to allow my family to live in this life God blessed us to earn.
100%.
How hard is it for you when you say you have to realign your money, you have to file bankruptcy to pay debts off? How difficult is that for that kid from Liberty City who worked his way to being the best wide receiver in the world, and now you in that place?
That's come with smarts. You know, that's, you know what I mean? Chapter 11 don't mean that you just out of everything. This come with protecting your legacy, protecting what you built, and being able to find a solution in regards to settling with your debts. And obviously no one would speak about me if I didn't have money. You know what it's like to be a black male in America. If you don't got money or you don't got clout, then who are you really? I just been blessed and fortunate to get both. And coming from a kid from Liberty City, you know, you see a lot of wealthy people do this Chapter 11. So to be able to experience things that I never thought I would be able to experience is a blessing. And to be able to be educated, you know what I mean, understand it, you know, to teach it to my son. And that's what legacy is, you know what I mean? Growing, being able to get these experiences, to be a full human and to be observant and to be a steward of the blessings God blessed me with.
What's that conversation though? Like the bankruptcy thing. Like, do your people come to you and be like,
I mean, my lawyer here is Danny Lavin. I got a good lawyer,
but what's
Joe
that
Grant.
conversation and be like, bro, we about this shit gonna come out, bro. Like,
life is not about, you know, I live in my truth. We not hiding none. I feel like we gotta keep a certain rep for the world. I mean, I'm Antonio Brown, man. I worked on intangibles and built myself up to be able to stand on it. I mean, you guys see the way I live. There's no gimmick. I'm at the same house I've been had. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of guys in the league that get to a point and not able to keep a lifestyle they live. They may have had the big house they had and can't afford no more. I've been blessed to put myself in fortunate positions and being able to protect myself, and that's a part of having good lawyers.
When you think about your kids, and I wanted to talk about this, I actually talked to your lawyer yesterday, and I was like, I really want to ask him about Lil AB. When we met you and when we met Lil AB, man, like that was, you became like everybody's little brother. And he was like all of our nephews
because y'all had knew that I was taking care of him by myself, right? It was just me and him.
So what's y'all relationship like, bro? Right now, you and Lil
Right
AB,
now, my son ABJ is like 16, he's 6'3", and he right on the brink where it's like he started to embrace greatness. He finally come to a teenage age where he know like, damn, my dad really made the sacrifices of my life to put me in a good position. You know, I think as a kid, when you just experience, you know what I'm saying, the experience of being with your dad and going to Hawaii, the Pro Bowl, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm living and being in the Pittsburgh locker room, being held up, seeing Ryan Clark, Troy Polamalu, Ben Roethlisberger, being at Casey Hampton, on the field with him before the games when he's sitting down. So those experiences as a kid, you know, he may not realize or took that moment for granted because he just, man, my dad played football.
Yeah.
But now I think he coming to the realization of just like, nah, man, my dad really made the commitments for my life, not only just with the intangible things, but just, you know, his presence was being there. And now he's in 11th grade, he's doing AAU. You know, he got a scholarship to the University of Central Florida. And I feel like he's now on the brink to, you know, committing to his own greatness, as me and his trainer always hit him on. Like, yo, it's a lot of kids who superstar dads, they're dads, and they regular. You know what I'm saying? They don't work hard, they just live off their dad name. So we just in the midst of motivating him, you know what I mean, to just want his own, to become his own. And I think I'm excited just to be a part of his process, to just see him growing as a young man. I mean, it's different now. He got NIL deals. You know, he drive his own Tesla, so he's a mature kid. And I think this year he go to university school. It's a private school, but I think I'm getting him into a better prep school because he got a 3.0, but nowadays, prep school is like the kid could work on developing the game around school. So I love my son, man. Shout out to my son. He's a better me. He's a bigger me. He's a handsome more me. And
so
you know,
6'3"?
Yeah, he like 6'3".
Hey, Chan,
He love basketball.
He was so funny,
You know what I'm
though.
saying?
When you talk to him, you ask him where he was from. And he be like, I'm from Miami. And we were like, nah, hey, little AB, it's Miami. He said, nah, it's Miami. And so, man, it was just him, man, just him and his son. And that was the thing I remembered. It was a young dude who worked his butt off on the field, but to take on being a single father, like you said, when you basically at times had to raise yourself, man, I do love to hear you share that story of where you guys are now, because that's my lasting memory of young Antonio Brown.
And you connected one of your old other teammates, Le'Veon.
Oh, yeah,
How did that come up? You walked him out in the fight.
L. Bell, my brother, man, he always been one of my close friends in football career because he always just committed to greatness, you know what I'm saying? Like, L. Bell feel like, yo, if I did an extra gasser, he was wanting up that gasser. So we always got this intangible just like to always make yourself better and challenge each other. And Le'Veon Bell, not just one of the running backs, you know, I think he just loved one-on-one matchup, competitive spirit. And he's been one of the other guys who've been able to transition after his career in regards to knowing what he want to do. And I feel like as football players, sometimes when you doing different things after your career, people make judgments because it's not like Denzel Washington where he played like 7 different roles and you like, yo, it's cool. You know, as a football player, it's like, man, I always seen him play football, so I don't know about that other stuff he doing.
Yeah.
You know, Le'Veon Bell, just like me, man, a renaissance man of many talents, as some of you guys here. You know what I mean? And I'm glad to support him. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask you, do you ever see yourself in the ring in like an exhibition?
Be in the box. You know, I'm going 3 rounds.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
No, don't get out there and get your ass knocked out.
Hey,
I'ma laugh.
yo, that's not what he said.
Listen.
Chan,
laugh.
Chan, he
Yeah,
took
he
it.
don't get it.
He
It's
took
too
it a
far.
whole
Tell him
different
later,
direction,
tell him
Chan.
later.
He was being nasty.
Don't worry, tell him later.
He took
Oh,
it.
you wanted to make some babies.
Don't worry about it, Chan.
Hey, B. You know, when you were in New England for that short time, and obviously in
Yes.
Tampa, you were
Chan,
a
I
part
was
of.
talking about fucking something, man. You not
That's
horny
what I
enough.
was
What's
gonna say,
wrong?
making baby. That's what country niggas say, making baby.
Yes. Horny and aggressive, Chan.
You be horny and aggressive. You gotta. I'm gonna give you something after the show.
Chan, why would I go punch niggas in the head when he's been hitting me hard my whole life? Le'Veon different. He a running back. He love competition. He love to hit. Like,
contact.
Yeah, he loved contact.
no, he love the hit. Like, he love one-on-one. If you right here talking to Le'Veon and it's a regular conversation, Le'Veon gonna take it as it's a versus conversation. He never gonna let the conversation end. Like, he love competitive nature. You know, right? He love competitive nature sports. It's like, yo, it's just in him. And let's get this clear. He's not broke. My guy did the right things with his money.
Yeah.
He loved the competitiveness. Hey, running back. You see Frank Gore? These running backs got CT. You got CT?
I don't got no CTE.
I know Ryan Clark got CT. He been hitting niggas.
I'm sure I do.
But not like in a bad way.
Nah, I know exactly. Listen.
Let me ask you one thing real quick. How mad you gotta get when it's like, Fred Taylor, a running back. All right, I'm gonna ask you guys this. When you see that running back in the hole, it's just you and him.
Right?
You know what it's like when it's like he down in the box and you know it's just gonna be you and him in that hole. As a safety, like, can you take me to like the mentality of what you thinking when you see a running back in the hole and it's you and him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Please
If
give me
it's-
that
No,
mentality.
not just a running back, me.
If it's Fred
Yeah,
Taylor.
Fred different, so.
Yeah, it's like,
let's
if
get
it's
that
Fred,
clear.
if it's Fred
I'm
Taylor in the
gonna
hole.
look
No,
in
let's
your
say it's
eyes.
not
Yeah,
Fred.
my
It's
first
not
I'm gonna
thought
look
is-
you in your eyes.
Yeah, my first thought is, right, I need to get there fast enough so where he doesn't have space. Right? That's my
Are
first
you
thought.
still crashing face, Mr. Ryan Clark?
100%.
Okay, can you explain the crash the face
Freddie
theory?
T, here's the thing. Freddie T don't want that. Freddie T is trying to put me in as much space so he can move to the side
No,
and
but
get
I
lit.
don't want to make this between Freddie. I want to know the RC mentality as
The
a safety.
mentality is this. The mentality is
Okay,
this.
let's hear
If
that.
you give me a small space with anybody in the world, I split them in half.
No, because people don't understand that. Cause you said that real nice, like you cutting the cake.
No,
like
I'm not
you
cutting
split it
anything.
half.
I'm saying his face mask and my face mask. There is a point where I start running where I realize I don't want to stop running until the back of my face mask touches the back of his helmet. Right? That's the way I look at it. I was hitting the dude behind them. The problem is the scenario you mentioned though, it's like the same thing. Every dude that stood in front of you thought to himself, I'm gonna get hands on 84.
Yeah.
When you playing against the greats like you and Freddie T, sometimes your plan don't match they plan.
100%.
And that was that's what I wanted to get to you about though, AB. Like that's what made you great, bro. When you look at your time, getting to play, you were in the ages of AJ Brown. You were in the ages of Julio Jones. I said earlier, I believed you were the best doing it at the time.
I am.
How do you feel you compared
Yeah.
to other great receivers they talk about?
Okay, let's look at the intangibles. If you want to add up all the yards that Randy Moss got just in his entire playing career, if it's receiving yards, catches, whatever he did, if you line me up with the greats, I'm at like 15,000 yards plus yards on everything I did in the NFL. I'm one of the most elite guys. I wasn't a first round pick, so I don't get the stigmatism of like, oh, this guy's so great. You know the first round stigmatism. Do you know about first round stigmatism?
Yeah.
Those guys get a little
They get more publicity. They get
Of
more
course.
media attention. They're
more
media
build-up,
dog.
more
Yeah.
hype. So it's like I had to work myself in this position. And I played for the Steelers. They don't promote offensive guys. It was about the quarterback and the defense. So imagine, how great I had to be to put myself in this position. And it's not about just what I've done physically to be great. It's about the mentality and the will and the intangibles of how did I be great? How did I withstand criticism? Because criticism and answer with achievement. People gonna always talk about you as an athlete. That's a part of the job. You don't respond, you answer it with what you do on the field. How did I put myself in good positions to go to different teams. I went to the Patriots. I earned the trust of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You know, I got suspended that year. We came back and won the Super Bowl. You know, I never gave up on myself or gave in. And those are the tangibles of what it takes to be great. You know, I want to say I'm better than anybody, and we all can make intangibles, and we all feel as athletes, we are the ones and we all great, but we all are greats. And we all have our time and our eras and what we do and how we work. And I just hope what I did inspire others who come play the game. You know, now the game is, players are getting paid the most ever. And that's great, you know what I'm saying? As players, fellow players of the game, that's what we should do. Evolutionize the game. You know what I mean? Come in the game and leave a stint on the game. Every time I came to work, I came to work. It was from practice, scrimmage, game. I was the same player from the final to the scrimmage. And I pride myself on never running out of gas. It never was a game that I wasn't have enough juice to do what I needed to do. And those are things you get, the respect from your teammates, you know what I mean, the love from your brothers. The guy who put on the helmet and knew I was on his team and counted on me to be able to will the team to win. You know, those intangibles and those feelings and those battles, you know, live within us. And, you know, football is just what I did, you know what I'm saying? That's not like I live every day to think about my stats and think how bad I am. That just was a time in my life. And hopefully for that time in my life, me, Big Ben, hopefully Le'Veon Bell too could make it to the Hall of Fame.
How did it feel when you guys turned the Steelers from a quarterback and a defense into the Killer Bees? And Coach Tomlin had to recognize that this team was running on the offense, and it really started with Antonio Brown.
Man, that's what, you know, championship culture is about. You know, it is the growth of the game. You know, you never know, you know, the players. The game never changes, it's just the players. The players like myself, Ben, Le'Veon, special players. You know, Martavis Bryant, different players that just pouncy. You know what I mean? Ramon Foster. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Gilbert. You know what I mean? David DeCastro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us get the glory from being in those great positions of receiving the ball and, you know, being in those intangibles, but the camaraderie of the brotherhood of, you know what I'm saying, going to work, the meetings, the walkthroughs, the belief, you know what I'm saying, the journey. And those things what, you know what I mean, make football worth it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the media could show the little things, but the journey with your brothers, training camp, getting bloody every day and preparing for long years and having that success and coming to a team where it's like Ryan Clark and great defenders with Polamalu, Ike Taylor, you know what I'm saying? So many, you know what I mean? Lawrence Timmons.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, just to be a part of so much, you know, so much greatness and to witness it and to be in that locker room in 2010 as a rookie going to the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? Those moments live with you. And those moments, you know what I'm saying, will you into wanting to be great. You guys inspired us. You know, imagine playing on the team and you know, like, yo, the defense finna stop them, so we ain't even got no pressure. You know we gotta just score 30 because Ryan Clark smashing faces and you know what I mean? And we getting turnovers, so it's like Ben gonna take the deep shot. So it made the game funner when you playing with Mike Wallace and great teammates and players who make the game fun, where it's like, yo, I know he's gonna make the big play. And, you know, those are things that, you know what I mean, is just bigger than one person, but, you know, the Killer Bees get the glory and the other guys that go unannounced, this the guys that put in the real work.
But, bro, with that, like the football side of it, the Killer Bees and what you did and the respect you had, and everybody knew you could play ball.
Yes.
I think on the backside of your football career, though, people are looking at you now and it's kind of minimizing your on-the-field stuff. Do you ever think about, like, the stuff you're doing now, people are putting that and making that your legacy over that you was the baddest man out there running routes? You know what I'm saying? Where, like, they don't look at that. Now they're looking at you, they're looking at Instagram, they're looking at them videos where it's kind of minimizing the football field for what you are now, and what you're doing now.
The archive work of being a football player is immortal. You know what I mean? Like, you can't diminish a player role because you think personally he doing something that you may not agree with or you may not understand. I feel like, you know, in life as a black person, like I made a point earlier, Pat McAfee called Caitlin Clark a great athlete, a white bitch. Nothing happened. Nobody says nothing, it don't go viral, make no news, just everybody move on. AB make a joke on Twitter and I was like, oh, he's a football player who just went wild. It's like we gotta be able to express ourselves and stay true to who we are. And that's the trauma of football players who you spend your whole life in your 20s trying to prove a talent that you got to make money. Now in your 30s, you banged up. In my 30s, if Tom Brady came and got me, I had 1,000 yards. If you add up, I played 8 games in 2020, 8 games in 21. I had 8 touchdowns, 1,000 yards in Tampa. So if you add it up over the course of a year, my football is immortalized. My intangibles on the field is what it is. The thing is, when you black in America and you could be who other people can be, you guys have jobs, right? You guys work for this network. So you got bosses, they pay you W-2. So it's a certain intangible, something you gotta represent. It's a certain way you have to be. I'm free to be myself. I'm free to be AB because I was a great football player and worked hard, that I can be myself in this position. That you guys are football players or other people in the normal world may not understand. Because why? You got real jobs. You got real people you represent. RC represent ESPN, represent the Pivot. Who sponsored the Pivot? Who sponsored the Pivot?
Hey, I'll let you know. We own this. So
I mean, you on this segment, but who's sponsoring it?
Right. But now we're Fanatics.
It's
the Pivot, a part of
Shout
Fanatics.
out to Fanatics. Fanatics backing this, so you represent your sponsor. Of course, you guys own this. This is your business.
Partnership,
but you guys represent your partnership and what you entails. And that's respect. You guys have a certain code of ethic within that partnership of what you gotta represent. AB work for AB. I could be who I want. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? It's a different scenario when you represent yourself. So people who watch me online and see me entertaining, they gotta understand. I represent myself. I don't have a partnership over my back. If you say something wrong or you say your real feeling or how you really feel, it might ruin your partnership. You might get canceled. I just start at a point where I can't be canceled.
Maybe let's go back to brotherhood real quick, because something jumped out when you mentioned that. In 2027, you're eligible for the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And so is Big Ben.
Yes, we going as a tandem. This is a tandem.
So
you ever seen Madonna, like, her spouse, like,
So,
this is a tandem.
Peep this. So based on what Channing just asked you about diminishing what you did on the field, you're, and I said it earlier, you're a 4-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champ, receiver that just went in, Megatron. I'm pretty sure you know Kelvin Jones.
Shout out to Megatron.
Megatron's a 3-time All-Pro and a 6-time Pro Bowler. He finished 34th all time. You were in the top 20. Do you really believe you deserve to be in Canton?
I really do. I feel like in my career, man, I never took nothing for granted. I gave 100% every time. And not only for just the work, you know what I mean, the achievement, the stuff that people don't never see. You know, the perseverance, missing the meeting, being, coming 6th round and knowing what you're capable of and have to watch other guys get the opportunities before you get the opportunity. Then willing our team to go to the Super Bowl because I make the catch because Big Ben trusts me and say, hey, put AB in. Mm-hmm. So I earned the rights of my teammate with Ryan Call, like, yo, get AB the ball, man, he'll do it. So I feel like being a black man in America, you should never have to answer intangibles about the work you put in, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, that's a fan perspective to differentiate what I've done, I feel like as a man, you never a finished product and you never want to feel like something deserving to you or something owed to me because I did that. And I don't never have an expectation of I should be because of this. I got faith in God, I believe in the higher power, and I believe I played the game, and that was one of my goals to be in the Hall of Fame, and to get an opportunity to not only go down with one of the great quarterbacks of the Steelers, and Steelers history, you know what I mean, the all-time winningest franchise. I was in the meeting room with Hans Ward. I saw him, what it took to be Steeler Nation, and, what the work ethic, and what it took. And I think I exemplify all those things, I feel like I'm not here to plead my case or compare myself to other greats who made it. But I would say, I had a lot of trauma, I had to overcome. And I would love to get that speech off at the Hall of Fame, just the trauma. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And even right now it's trauma. You know what I mean? Imagine you did all this great stuff and you came in the NFL last pick and you willed yourself to be in this role. And still to this day, I got to answer to a person feel like, do you feel like you deserve or do you feel like you're going to be, that's trauma. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you going to talk to people and they're not talking to you from a spiritual or a human being standpoint. It's like, as an athlete, you always got to answer to people from, you know, a psychological thing of why you feel that you should be in this position. It's like this, the story, the tape, like Coach Thomas say, the tape is your walking, talking, breathing resume.
Yeah.
Why should I have to explain myself? My actions will do more talking than my words will ever say. If you think AB's not a Hall of Famer, call on the tape. You call on the practice tape, you can cut on any tape. You could say where I come from, Central Michigan, I left there as a junior. People who come from Central Michigan, they don't come out as a junior. So I had an ultimate belief in myself to overcome adversity and manifest myself in this position. You know what I mean? Because no one else believed. You know what I mean? No one else believed. Until this day, people still don't believe. I got Fred Teller, the one of the most greatest running back ever, questioning, like, not even questioning, but undoubtedly, you know what I'm saying, questioning my existence, why I stack up with the greats.
I was going to speak for the three of us, but I'll speak for myself. I believe you belong in the Hall of Fame. I just called out your numbers.
Thank you.
And you can put them up against any of the other receivers that are in the Hall of Fame, any of the receivers that have made finalists the last couple years. No doubtedly, people that are watching the show will also probably agree with what my opinion. I asked you what you thought when you add layers to it, because it's more than, we don't all know what the criteria are. And I've been asking that same question for years, you know, but when you look at your candidacy versus mine, and I've made finalists, and know we play different positions, but your career was way much greater than my career. But then you have the other things that when you add on to it, so they'll never question what Antonio Brown did between the chalk. They'll never fucking question that.
But they can never question what I did, like, outside the chalk either. Like,
see, but that's what we get confused with, what's the criteria,
nah,
because we know what the game does.
I think he's also, too, you got to think about it. You had Hall of Fame numbers, to me, in my opinion, first ballot Hall of Fame numbers. So I believe you will undoubtedly get in. I also believe I've seen them make people wait because they don't like them. Terrell Owens is a first ballot Hall of Fame. If you ask any room of football
let me
player,
ask you this about Terrell Owens, because he's my guy. When you're a Hall of Fame player, you have to go down as the number one guy in the team history, right?
No,
I'm saying, like, you got to be number one receiver for that club, right?
yes, when you're on a team, exactly.
So who is the number one receiver for, I mean, Terrell Owens retired for which team? Like, the 49ers is Jerry Rice, right? He number one.
So you said number one receiver in their entire history of the organization.
If you look at Hall of Famers, they're number ones for their organizations, right? But you, like, what's guy you know who's not?
Yeah, I mean, I think the eras changed the number, but he bounced around.
If Terrell, exactly. So if Terrell Owens to go back to a team and be a Hall of Famer, which team is he gonna go with?
I think he goes in with anyone he wants to. He was a Hall of Famer in Dallas.
I know, but you gotta think, it's not about whichever one he go to. It's a fan base. The organization gotta embrace you. There's a lot of more intangibles, you just going down.
Okay, well, AB, my question to you is, with things that happened during your career, we know what organization you're most synonymous with your success. But what organization embraces you? Do you feel that you will be embraced?
I mean, you only embraced by these organizations when you're great. And that time will come and tell in 2027. I got the most Steelers yards in Steelers history, so I feel like they can rally behind that. Me and Ben Roethlisberger, a tandem. I feel like we had the most yards together, touchdowns together, more than anyone in Steelers history. So it's like, yo, what else story you want to tell? I feel like the Hall of Fame become like a bias, jealousy. A bias jealousy not only with the players and the media. You got black players and you got white media. It's like,
that's part of it though, AB. Like it's a human vote.
Yeah,
and the human vote says
make those
the human
decisions.
vote. Yeah, the human vote says talent-wise and production.
But let's get this clear. Like, it don't define me going in the Hall of Fame late, first. That don't define who I am as a person, player. I mean, that's maybe a big deal to you guys. Like, yo, wherever I go down there, I'm grateful to God. A guy from Liberty City don't even supposed to be in this position. Let's get this clear. I'm beyond grateful to even be in these topics of conversation. Where I come from, they don't make it to these situations. So to be able to be one of those guys from Miami, Florida, like I came from Liberty City, where it's a John Doe, dope game where guys die. Like my mama was in Section 8. My dad was a football player that always was away. My dad was an Arena League Hall of Fame. So obviously, yeah, I'm carrying on the intangibles of my family, blessings of us being great in football, but that's just a small part of my life. My son going to college, him being great is other things that's in my life that's more important and bring me more happiness just for saying that I'm a Hall of Fame football player and I go to Canton. Like, what did that mean? What did that change? I don't live my life for the acceptance of other people, you know what I'm saying? Or to feel like they did determine my greatness because I'm a 6th-round pick that willed my way in the NFL, that willed my way in this position. So I got intangibles with myself, within my family and my people that bring me joy, you know what I'm saying? It don't bring me joy because they're gonna give me opportunity.
What brings you joy now then? What is it what makes you the happiest right now?
You know, being healthy, seeing my kids be healthy, you know, being present, taking care of business, living. You know what I'm saying? The little intangibles of being a human, you know what I'm saying? Living life, things that we couldn't do with being a football player, from training all day, from making that commitment. You know, being an example to talk to people about their traumas, you know, that bring me joy because I could see the mental breakdown and, you know, the toughness of how people overcome adversity. So those are a few things that bring joy to my life. And life is more than about intangibles and awards or being acceptance to people. Life about living, being a good person, knowing yourself, being a good example.
But what? Because your son, Antonio Brown, too.
Junior. And I got a son, Autonomy, my son, Autonomy, he cold.
So,
Ali Brown, he cold. Apollo Brown, he cold. Like, I got a whole generational of boys coming.
And that was that.
And I might have one on the way, you heard? So I got a whole 7-pack coming.
How you do it? How you do it?
10 toes down, my foot's so sticky. You know, but I'm doing hip thrust.
You ain't going that deep.
I'm getting deep. My rod and sinker.
Way back here.
My bait and sinker, you heard? That shit dropping.
God damn.
I got big bait on here.
But wait, like you saying, I understand what you're saying. I heard some others. I played with some bad
The Hall of Fame don't define me. Even if I go first,
your
second. My legacy is what it is, what it means to me and my family. I feel like legacy is what you leave behind for your family to exist. My legacy is not what the NFL deem my legacy, because the NFL write people's lives. They tell you what you're gonna do, how you're gonna play, when the game is, when you train. In real lives, I make my own life, baby. The NFL don't dictate how I feel about myself, or they don't dictate how great they think I am. Just because they put me in the Hall of Fame, if they do or they don't, that still don't diminish my role or minimize my role of how great I am.
AB, they're gonna put you in the Hall of Fame. They're gonna put you in the Hall of Fame.
I love to.
But what about AB the fourth, your great grandson?
Yeah.
When he looks back on you, what do you want him to see? What's that? I'm talking about that. I'm not talking about you. Talking about media and people legacy. I'm talking about your legacy. You want to know.
My son's gonna always know their dad stood up for what he believed. And he never got deteriorated and never lost himself in the midst of belief. Because in the midst of belief, you're going to get turned down. Some people going to cut you. Some people going to not believe in you. Some people going to turn their back on you. You know, how you going to handle that adversity? I always done what's right for myself and believe for myself no matter what other people said and what other people did. I always took the right initiative or the right road to always put myself in the best position. You know, even when people may have thought I wasn't putting myself in the best position. And that's what I want my kids to understand. I want every kid to understand. I believed in myself, so I maybe had left the Steelers. I believed in myself, so I maybe left the Raiders. But I met Tom Brady. I was able to go to the Patriots for a stint and earn his trust and his belief in my talent and skill. I was able to come back and persevere from that adversity and come back to Tampa Bay and win the championship. I didn't ever give up. False accusation, they be innocent and they still trauma. They want to take from me. I persevere. That's what I want to show my son. Perseverance in any kid. Perseverance, dedication, discipline, overcoming adversity and being great. And that's why I started CTESPN, because we need a news network that's talk about these traumas, show these traumas, and show people that are persevering these traumas, so when a kid is at that position where they're going through this thing, they know how to handle that. How you gonna handle disbelief when you know you're the best player? So I don't know, we got a meeting on bonus day, so they're gonna say I'm late. Now they're gonna sit me out and not play, because they want to get the other guy play because they drafted him 3rd round. How do you handle that trauma with knowing you better than other players and not being able to play? How do you not give up or give in? What do you learn that from? What do you learn that how to handle public scrutiny when the media writing stuff about you that may not be true? The NFL got their own news station called ESPN. They can promote whatever they want. it's no freaking code of ethic that say they right or wrong. It just, they ran a report, now it's public perception. Now the media take public perception and what they said as is true. It don't mean they true, man. They just running the business as far as what the NFL business is. So that's why I started these networks so people can learn and they can understand, okay, if I want to be AB, what do I got to prepare for? Oh yeah, Cheetah was just the #1 player in the league last year. You see the scrutiny he got, right? What do you think, that's just by mistake? You think that's by mistake or that just by because he's being great? You know, I just want to take a shout out. Just know I got my stretch marks.
You got some stretch marks. You got some stretch marks.
I'm working out.
You mentioned earning Tom's trust. We recently had Tom on the show, and he was talking about how the roast affected his family. What did you think about the Tom Brady roast and the joke?
I feel like everyone should be able to make jokes and be happy and bring sense of humor to things. But I feel like, you know, being a football player, it's like, yo, you can't really be true to yourself. So when I watch someone go out and do something and then come back after it and have to apologize, like, yo, we are human, we know what we're doing. But I feel like public perception always dictating how people want to be looked at. Like, you know what I mean? No one could do something in public and handle the fact that people think, oh man, they crazy or something, you know? So now Tom Brady got to come back and tell you, oh man, I didn't really realize. Like, it's a joke. What do you think? What do you think? They wasn't going to joke on you? It's a joke. They wasn't going to joke you. For the kids, it's a joke. They can say whatever. But I feel like, you know, being a football player, go back to what I said, the trauma of you can't even make a joke. Or you can't even express yourself because now you got to get back to the reality of how you want the world to view you. It's like you can't even make a joke. It's like you got Tom Brady, one of the greatest guys ever, that had a roast and he can't even make a joke. It's like life shouldn't be that serious. You know, we all should have a sense of humor and a lightness and of loveness and shouldn't have to apologize for doing something that people actually like to do. And I feel like that's the football trauma.
AB, I love your approach to it. The Antonio Brown roast, presented by the Pivot.
You a rip my ass? I'm down.
I'm gonna tear your ass up. Would you do a roast?
I'll do a roast, but
You would do a roast.
I could take a joke.
But could you really? Because as you see what they did to Tom, you could deal with that.
I won't come.
Because you know what you did with the little penis, the little gummy penis and all that. Like, they gonna kill your ass.
I could take a joke. A sense of humor.
Hey, I got so much. I got
Go ahead,
so much
fire me
content
up.
already. I'm
Fire
just
me
saying,
up.
I got
Go ahead,
content
get one
already.
off. Get one off for the promo, Chad.
He put you on the spot, Chad.
Fire me up. Go ahead, Chad. I can take a
Why
joke.
you throwing penises at people?
I mean, shit. Sometimes people a dick. I want to throw them a dick. I mean, I'm not an octopus where I can take mine off and throw it at them, but
AB,
That big stroke you had, you might not be able to throw that one. Shit, that's a big, deep stroke.
And we talking about money. Justin Jefferson
yes.
just got the largest non-quarterback contract
Yeah.
in NFL history. When you see a player who plays your position,
Yes.
who's had the success like you had, and you see Justin having that success, what do you think about what he's done at the game and the position and how much he deserves that money?
I admire what he's done. I admire his vagueness, you know, to be able to set a new trend for receivers. I love his stats. I love his attitude. I love his routes. I love how he handles himself. I mean, he's an all-pro player. He getting everything he deserved. I seen him last year persevere through injury, still be able to come out and be productive. I see what he averaging. You know, I need his average to come down, you know. So. I mean, his average per game, you know, at NFL, you always competing, but I love Justin Jefferson, man. The big playability, the route running, coming from a big college and really honing his position as, you know what I'm saying? Because most of the time when guys come from big colleges where they the guy, you know, it fizzles down. With him and Chase, him and his camaraderie Chase, man, I love those guys with how they pioneer the game, Louisiana guys who just dominating the game. He deserved everything he got, man. Receivers, man, you know the GPS stats on receivers of how much guys got to run and how ready they got to be. You really got to, you ever play fetch with your dog? You ever play fetch with your dog? Like, a receiver just got to be a dog that's ready to fetch, bro, with the most energy, with the most. Justin Jefferson, man, he JJ from Good Times, man. Shout out to him.
He is dynamite.
Who is
Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Who? I know you're close to the game still. Who are your top 5 receivers?
Top wide receivers.
Give me 5.
I'll give you Cheetah. Cheetah up there, you know he's still elite. You gotta have Justin Jefferson. Jamar Chase, he got to be up there. He could do everything. Deep ball, catch and run.
Yeah.
You could depend on him to carry the team. That's 3.
You like CD?
Yeah, everybody got a CD. I mean, you like CDs or tapes? I like CD Lamb. I like CD Lamb. He's a beast. I mean, I'm sure he's got to be up there with getting his next big deal.
Yep.
And you got to terminate a mask, bro.
Yeah.
You
going
can't
Devontae?
leave You can't leave Devontae.
Nah, Devontae is up there, man. Devontae is up there, 100%. Devontae closing on 100 touchdowns, silent assassin. He don't get a lot of media play. He just a guy who just keep his head down. He don't make a lot of noise, but Devontae Adams got 100 touchdowns.
Bro, that joker.
And I don't think these guys had 100 touchdowns. I mean, and a lot of guys haven't got to that mark. So, yeah, Devontae Adams definitely up there in the top 5. I think that's my top 5. The Baton Rouge, Batman Robin.
Baton Rouge too. You got Jamar and Jester. You said.
You gotta keep them in there. You got
Tyreek.
Cheetah. You got
CD. You said.
CD Lamb
Who was the 5th?
and Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
100 touchdown
Ready for your
OG.
trivia
I
question?
mean, there's some other guys in there I may be moving out, but I like the guys that's on the brink of greatness, who hungry, who been through some stuff. I want to see Marquise Brown, guys who got a lot of potential, who ain't unleashed what they really got, you know? Guys like him. I like my guy from Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he capable of a lot of yards. Hope he get the
Talking
opportunity.
about George Pickens?
George Pickens. You know, I'm
player.
having my
He
Pickens. But I'm not George Pickens, but I'm having my Pickens.
So, AB,
Shout out to him, you know what I'm saying?
we you know how we do it. We always ask the guests their biggest pivot.
Yeah.
And since the last time we sat down, things could have changed. So
Yeah.
I want to ask again, what's your biggest pivot in life?
Like, explain pivot. Like, pivot just like a revolution. Like, I wake up, everything changed.
Like
or-
a moment that happened in your life, something that happened in your
Had to
life
happen.
that changed you, or that set you on the path to being Antonio Brown.
Yeah, well, I was getting therapy lately, and I just realized, like, you know what I mean, talking to my therapist, Miss Lisa Levine, and I was like, damn, you know what? Being a football player is a lot of trauma that, you know, I may have not realized. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when you're learning about some of the traumas you experience, I feel like that was a pivot for me. And that's why I started CTESPN, because, you know, the media put our perceptions of people and how they think they is, and there's no code of ethic. You know, that become the fans' perception of you. Like, you know, whatever the media put out, they just what they believe. And then, you know, I just was talking to my therapist about different traumas of just being a, you know, 21-year-old kid and just playing football just to change his life, you know what I mean? Just to make a life. And while making a life, you realize, like, damn, I'm killing myself. You know what I'm saying? And just going over those and traumas and intangibles, like, damn, well, how do you handle those? Or what do you tell a player when he's 20 years old and he going to play football and he just, you know, because, you know, being a football, you got to be a dog, like they say. Like, you know, as a defensive player, you got to be aggressive, ready to hit, anger. And, you know, talking to my therapist, going through all these emotions, handling public scrutiny, you know, dealing with the pressures of being a player, you know, dealing with injuries, dealing with being cut, dealing with being misscrutinized or misunderstood or called crazy. You know what I mean? It's like all those traumas, because now you having to explain yourself or, you know what I mean, overanalyze or go outside of your body to try to make people understand you. And, you know, those are little traumas that, you know, not a lot of people understand. And not, you know, as players, I feel like we live with those. And as a man, sometimes it's uncomfortable to open that up or share those traumas of what you're dealing with or how you getting through it. So I think that was the most pivot for me, with just speaking about my traumas with my therapy and understanding, you know, how to handle traumas and how to deal with anger, how to overcome adversity, and being able now to put myself in a position where I want to talk to other people about that, you know what I mean, and focus on their greatness. Like, what it's like for you being a running back and waking up after you just got hit 40 times because you have 40 carries. Like,
Yep.
how you put yourself back together. What is that like mentally? You know what I mean? Like, what are the tangibles of transitioning of your career? You know what I mean? Of starting over. You know, what's the traumas of that? What's the traumas of people talking about me crazy every day? You know what I mean? How do I handle that belief in myself to not let that trauma dictate how I feel about myself?
AB, do you ever get sad? Like, do you ever have sadness or depression or deal with doubts?
Of course. That's why you have a therapist. Of course you deal with that. As a football player, of course you deal with that. It's like,
As a man now, though, Like the football player part, like you said, that's over. As a man now, do you deal with some of those emotions?
Yes, you deal with it. That's why you get therapy. Imagine you trying to do something great in a role and people minimizing your role. Hey, be a great player and I gotta come answer, why do I think I deserve this position after everything I did? No one's asking Denzel Washington, like, why he playing this different role, because they just remember him in that movie and I want him to stick to this. You know what I mean? As a football player, it's like you looked upon as a god, like almost. It's a certain way you're supposed to be, but there's no classes that teach us how to be. There's nobody working with us to transition our careers. There's no book that tell you when you finish your career, maybe the people that was with you is not gonna be there. You know, so yeah, it's a trauma. Which is, just being able to keep that sanity. Yeah, it's a trauma when I know I can't even entertain in the media, and this is the platform that Elon Musk gave us, Twitter, to entertain. I can't entertain, but Pat McAfee could call a athlete a white bitch in the media, and I got to answer for me just being funny. Of course, that's a trauma. Like, yo, why, as a man, you know what I'm saying? Not as a race, as a man. Why, you know what I mean? We can't be understood. That is a depression. That pissed me off.
But it's just other people. That's just other people's doubt. Like you said that before, like they question you, but people doubt everybody. They doubt you, just prove them wrong. Like that shouldn't be trauma. That should be, okay, bitch, I'm about to go watch this. You know what I'm saying?
I know,
the same thing you did in football, the same shit you can do off the field.
Nah, you can't take your life. That's the trauma, because you can't take the same mentality that I got in football in the life. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to have a different perspective from being on the field. You know what I'm saying? It's not, in life, it's not a football field. It's not like, I'm going to show you wrong, I can prove you. Football, you could prove to them this play right here, why I'm this way. In life, you can't prove, because maybe you don't get the opportunities. You don't get the support. Or it's a differentiate of the support. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's a trauma when you getting treated a certain way and you got to take that way and use that as a motivation. That's a trauma. I shouldn't have to use how I'm treated to be able to put myself together to be a real human. That's dehumanizing the person. And that's what I started CTESPN for, because you can't take the same mentality you got on the field into real life. It's not possible.
You look at how people have perceived you or spoken about you, even in the sense of the jokes with the Caitlin Clark, or some of the things you said about Tom afterwards, even though you've shown love to him. With people like that, if a Caitlin or a Tom wanted an apology, would you offer those people's apologies?
Yeah, I got sincerity in my heart. Like, if I feel like I disrespect anyone, I'm a man. I could tell you, I apologize, I was being funny, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? No one above the law entertainment. I joke Mayweather, he don't like it. You feel me? I say it's fake, his fight's fake. You think his fight's fake? His fight's not fake. This guy fucking put in work and whoop ass. But, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing, I'm making a joke. You know what I mean? I'm an entertainer at a sense of a day. You know what I mean? So I feel like in the sense of entertaining, it could be confusion, but I'm a man. If I disrespect anybody, I can't apologize. I don't have no ego where I'm like, yo, if I did something to respect anyone, I apologize. I'm a man. I got sincerity, I got respect, I got gratitude, I still got sincerity. I appreciate every opportunity we get. But I love being funny, I love expressing myself, I love being true to who I am is. Is it a little misunderstanding, misinformative? Yeah, it can be, but that's a point of art. That's a part of being an artist. That's the point of having expression. Put that shit on, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Man,
that's
that
a part
little
of
dance ain't worth a damn.
You don't like the dance?
That little dance ain't
I
worth
do
a
that
damn.
after know I got that dance from?
Where you got that dance from?
I know you don't like this type of shit.
It's some nasty shit?
Yeah, some nasty shit.
Yeah, I like it.
Like, I was telling this girl after she measured my package, I was like, put that shit up on your fingers to see how big I'm is. So she was like,
She got it tight like that?
and I was like, put that shit on. We gonna end it with that, nigga. You feel me? Love, that was amazing, man. Love. Man, that was amazing.
Damn dog.
Now you gotta come for all perspective.
I can't imagine.
Man, we appreciate you, bro.
That was energy.
Hold up, limitless. Take a stomach, can't pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. On the vision, I can trust. Limitless. Take a stomach, can't pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up.